Okay. Pero ¿qué ibas a decir? ¿Qué ibas a decir?
When I was writing the song, I didn't really understand like where that was coming from or why it was coming out. But when I think about it now, my life was very hectic at that age. I was 5, I think I was 4.5 when I moved here from California. We moved here so that my mom could be closer to family because she has lupus, which is a really yucky, painful disease. But when we moved here, things seemed to really become chaotic, or at least I started to become aware that things were chaotic in my family. So my parents were fighting a lot, big fights where the police were called. My cousins moved in with us for a time, my grandma and her husband and my cousins. It was a very small apartment, and there were essentially 2 families living in it and 7 kids, and all really little, and not the healthiest dynamic between the parents or between my grandma's husband and us kids. My mom's health was doing really bad, and she ended up getting pregnant with my younger sister. And then shortly thereafter, my dad left, and after having an affair with someone. And so it was just a very, very hectic time. I remember sort of becoming really like shy and very sort of withdrawn, and would start having a hard time making friends at school. And essentially that's kind of what this song is talking about, is trying to navigate moments like that as a kid, and not being able to be fully yourself or fully a human because you're having to vary so much. So when I was younger, I used to have night terrors. I used to have nightmares. I don't know why I'm smiling, but I did. I would. I think I was probably 5 years old. My sister and I shared a room, and we shared a mattress on the floor, and she was totally asleep, and I woke up to a man's voice like yelling and shouting and screaming. It felt so real. I felt like there was a voice in the room, and it was pitch black. So the light turned on, and that gave me the courage to jump out of my bed and go to my parents' room and wake my mom up and kind of shake her and let her know, like, I'm scared, like I hear something, I hear someone's yelling and screaming. And she just told me, like, oh, you're like having a nightmare, like go back to sleep. That specific memory stands out to me as like one of those kind of distinct memories where I'm very afraid and like having a really hard time sleeping because of this like scary thing that I was hearing, and then going to my mom and kind of having her not intentionally but sort of dismiss me. So I don't ever write to intentionally like create a full-length album or to create an EP, although I am starting to compile that stuff into an EP. But I just write kind of out of like necessity and out of emotion, a lot of just trying to get certain things out of my body. Or maybe not out of my body, but like in my body, in a different place in my body or something. It ends up really lightening my load and like lightening me.
I was scared of who I was. I had to judge. I was small and I was shy. No one knew how much I cried. I had so much love inside.
On top of it, the song very much has to do with my mother and that specific memory of having her sort of not see like how scared I was or how much pain I was in that night. And right now, I'm 27, my mom's 56, and her lupus has progressed in a really aggressive way, and she's dependent on a feeding tube, and she has a port in her chest that allows for a PICC line, which is a specific kind of invasive tube in the body. It makes me really sad, and I feel like I'm, losing her, and in a way that brings me back to those earlier stories where I felt like maybe my mother and my father couldn't maybe nurture me in the way that I needed, or couldn't protect me in the way that I needed, or couldn't be present in the way that I needed. And so for some reason now, watching her disease progress makes me feel like I can't have her in the way that I need. And so it brings up all these feelings of grief from childhood, and particularly that memory, because I think I was struggling with some traumatic things, and I think they may have been coming out in these sort of loud ways. Even though she is amazing and wonderful and we talk all the time, just knowing that I won't always have what I need from her because of her illness, just kind of all becomes this big blur. And yeah, writing the song has helped me so much. I feel like it's a little time capsule or something of all these emotions. Every time I sing it, it helps me. And it helps me identify with that reality of that so many people go through when they're kids, and carry that sort of pain with them. And it just relieves me every time I sing it. And it helps me come to terms with the things going on in my life as a kid. And it helps me have compassion for my mom in a weird way, because it gives me a space to sort of be angry or sort of lament that, maybe my parents didn't have the capacity to save me. But that's okay. Like, I'm connecting with the side of me that has a lot of love now, and I think that's what makes it possible for me to write a song like that. Is it's not anyone's fault. It's just the reality. It was the reality for me, at least from my perspective. It helps me in that way. It helps me feel free of that pain. And to recognize that, like, I do have a lot of love inside. So, yeah, it's healing.